Good midday to you. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights and Radio Vermont. This weather video driven by 802cars.com representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Currently looking at some snow across a wide area. This is an Alberta Clipper system that's mostly passing to the south. This portion of the Alberta Clipper system, kind of a double tandem here. Surface areas of low pressure will pass over Vermont and pass through the region, bringing anywhere from around 1 to 4 inches. Best chances for heavier snow will be in the mountain summits of the southern Green Mountains, less to the north, but about 1 to 2 inches even down on valley floors. So we should have great project weather the rest of today, this Tuesday, the exception the far southern Vermont border area where there could be some flirtation of some late afternoon flurries and eventually some snow shower activity working in. That'll be spreading northward overnight tonight. Very elongated precipitation field. You can see that associated with the tandem Alberta Clipper systems to track through, especially tonight and into the day on Wednesday. A west to northwesterly flow will keep carryover lake effect flurries and mountain snow showers going on for the rest of the week. Arctic chill Friday morning and again along about Sunday morning. The next best project weather develops on Sunday with an area of higher pressure. That may possibly last into Monday for next week. The weather pattern change was looking more likely for the end of this period here, more early to mid next week, with an uptick in storminess and potentially a large oscillation or roller coaster ride in temperature, once again going warmer and then colder. And this is the European model with the 6 hourly panels. Once again, this is valid at about 8 o'clock this evening. We're looking at the snow to shift a little bit further into the southern part of Vermont, and then it overtakes all of Vermont before midnight tonight, and this is roughly about 7 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, the area of low pressure develops off the Maine coast, Gulf of Maine, heads basically to the east, pulls away with intermittent precipitation becoming more scattered. A little bit of a break in the evening hours with a little secondary disturbance working on through with an Arctic front. And you can see it moving through here. And you can see just a little bit of the pressure gradient showing where that frontal system is. And again, some lake effect snow showers associated with that front. So running that back. And this is valid along about Thursday night, 7 o'clock, and then into the Thursday night into Friday. Looks like a little ridge of higher pressure moves on by for a brief break. And then yet more snow shower and flurry activity downwind from the Great Lakes. And you'll notice an area of higher pressure building in the lower Great Lakes. This will come to an end. This will come across the region and then end of precipitation from west to east with a large area of higher pressure centered over about 7 o'clock on Sunday. It looks like the northern branches of the jet stream, the polar branch to the north, a little bit more subtropical branch to the south, and that splits the area. So we keep decent weather going into Monday, and then beyond that, something we'll have to watch here as warmer air begins to creep in, and eventually it ends up like this. Total precipitation for the country, again, the west becomes very active after drying out for a few days, and then some of that carries over jet stream energy, and this is some of the leftovers. Not a tremendous amount of precipitation. We're looking at roughly about 1/4 of an inch of precipitation over the next 7 days per the Weather Prediction Center 7-day total QPF. Let's jump into temperatures, and this is the first next 5 days. Maximum temperatures around the northeast, cold in northern areas, warm in the south. That means a pretty good pressure gradient and usually a storm track dividing the two. What about 5 days later? Not a lot of change, running about 3 to 6 degrees below normal for this time period. Centered on Burlington, this is the GFS ensemble, and all snow up through this period here. Little minor minutia, not a whole lot of breaks in the action, but some breaks you can see. This is the incoming Alberta Clipper system. Notice it's less than 1/10 of an inch in Burlington with the northern fringe effects. This would be far more precipitation, not far more precipitation, but some more precipitation, maybe up to a couple tenths down in parts of southern Vermont near the Massachusetts border. A little bit of a snow drive-by, if you will, and taking it up through northern Vermont. Mount Mansfield seems to be the most snow, followed by Jay Peak and then some of the southern Vermont ranges, also over toward Mount Washington. Areas across New York have seen more snow. Witness this. You can see the Adirondacks doing much better. But down in parts of southern New England, you can see that there is not a lot of snow on the ground. And it roughly starts the northern portions of the Connecticut region, Litchfield County, and of course it extends into parts of northern Maine, where there is a lot more snow. And up around Quebec City, they have very decent snowbanks. And looking at the temperature anomalies, we can see colder than normal temperatures here. This is valid Tuesday evening. And we can see that kind of hold out associated with that area of higher pressure. Then it weakens, a little bit of above normal temperatures. They'll still continue relatively cool. A little bit colder weather will work in for the later part of the week and into this coming weekend. Looks like this will continue through Sunday before the next warm-up. Keep an eye on what's going on in the lower left-hand corner there. We start to see the development of a widespread warmth begin to shift across the southern part of the U.S. and then try to make a run at us in the northeast. This would be a valid roughly about the 8th of February. That would be next Wednesday, next week beyond this period. This is another oscillation weather pattern. It could bring mixed precipitation types as well as gradient winds. And there is some hints of that already. It's a little too far out to get detailed. Low confidence. And then that is followed by colder weather. I'll take it through the next 15 days. In general, the colder weather shifts off to the east. And then we're not too far from seasonal norms. This is basically either a little bit above or below the seasonal temperatures for this time of year. And this is roughly, this comes up here, this is 15 days out. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.